Can you change this? This is bent. You see this?
It broke?
Broke.
Okay, I'll fix it.
It will never stay.
I'll get it fixed. Make a difference.
सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। वाल्मीकिर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को न याति परां गतिम्। यत्पिबन् सततं राम चरितामृतसागरम् अतृप्तस्तं मुनिं वन्दे प्राचेतसमकल्मषम्। गोष्पदीकृतवाराशिं मशकीकृतराक्षसम् रामायणमहामाला रत्नं वन्दे नीलात्मजम्। अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकी शोकनाशनं कपीशम् अक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम्। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वादात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारी परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमद राक्षसान्तकम्। वाल्मीकिगिरिसम्भूता रामसागरगामिनी पुनादिभुवनं पुण्या रामायणमहानदी। वेदवेद्ये परे पुंसि जाते दशरथात्मजे वेदप्राचेतसादासीत् साक्षात् रामायणात्मना। आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय Sitaya Pataye Namaha Mangalam Kosalendraya Mahaniya Gunabdaye Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam. Having this saluted all the important, first of all the author, followed by Hanumanji, then the Ramayana Grantha itself, and finally Sri Rama, the main character here. Now we enter into the proper text, which is Balakand. As I have explained to you, the 7 cantos are there. Balakanda. Kanda is different from canto. Please understand that. Kanda means a section, you can say, or here it is a book 1. There are 7 books. So the book 1 is Balakanda. In that there are various chapters which are known as cantos or sargas. So the sarga here begins with invocation, first of all, of the Supreme Reality. And you will find all the our Vedic literature begin with the Shanti Mantra usually, or it is just one single syllable known as Om. That's what we find. Om tapasvadhyaya niratam tapasvi vakvidamvaram naradam paripapracha Valmiki Munismungavam Om tapasvadhyaya niratam tapasvi vakvidamvaram naradam paripapracha Valmiki Munipungavam. Om, as you know, is the sound symbol of the Supreme Truth. In our Vedic tradition, Mangala Vakya is very important to start with. Because anything that we start, there will be certain amount of uncertainty. Even when you are traveling, getting into the train or the flight, you do not know whether you will reach there or not. So people say, you should say, I will go and come. Don't say that. In every tradition they have that. See you. Here also what? See you, you are seeing me. No. Later on also I will see you. Ogi Bartini. Veldi Randi. Aujo. In all languages you are expected to come back. Meaning what? That means you reach safely and then again you return. That's what it means. So when we undertake anything, there is certain amount of uncertainty there. Therefore, by saying so, I'll come back or whatever you are saying, let God's speed be with me. God be with me. So in the tradition, we see Om. Om as the invocation of the Lord. Now Om has got very many different connotations. First of all, Om is the symbolic representation of the highest reality. In Vedanta, Om iti Brahma, Om iti Idagam Sarvam. This Om is Brahman, it is itself is pervading everything. And in meditation, Om is considered as the greatest support for the mind to soar to the heights of Brahman. Om ityetadalambanam sreshtam, Om ityetadalambanam param. Alambana means support. So the mind needs a support to raise itself, to uplift itself. So Om. Now let us look at the basic understanding of Om. In all languages, the first letter is A. Every language you take, Akaro Sarvo Vak, it is said. Every speech begins with A. Because when you open the mouth, what sound you get? As soon as you open the mouth, first vowel that comes out is A. Gutturals, it's called guttural. In English it is A. But A is not the sound, it is A is the sound. You don't open the mouth and say A. No. But in English, A includes A also. If you say A-T-O-M, how do you pronounce that? Atom or atom? Atom? I don't know. People have peculiar pronunciation for everything else. A-T-L-A-N-T-A. What do you say? Atlanta. Isn't it? A. So most phonetic languages have got more syllables than English. Why? Because every pronunciation has got a specific letter and it doesn't change. A is A is A. A is not becoming A is not becoming A. No. A is A and A is another letter. So when you open the mouth, the first sound that comes is A. When you close the mouth, the sound that you end with is So A and M. In between, there is another sound which is called U. So A, U and Ma together becomes Om. Therefore, Om includes all possible sounds that a human can make. So Om includes all sounds. So therefore, it is considered as it includes all possible languages and speech that a person can make. That is basic understanding of Om. Secondly, Om represent the trinities, the Devatas of the Hindu tradition, Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwar. A representing Brahma, the originator, U is Vishnu and end, dissolver, everything. So that Om, by saying Om, you are already invoked all the three deities. Third, Om is representative of all the three states of experience we go through: state of sleep, state of dream, state of waking. State of waking indicated by A, dream U and is sleep. Om therefore include all experiences of the human possibilities. So it is not only all the sound, it is indicating all the three deities. It indicates all the human experiences. That's why Pranava. Even when you chant Gayatri Mantra, you chant Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsavadarvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. Right? Every auspicious beginning is with Om. So therefore here, Valmiki begins with Om. In Mandukya Upanishad it is beautifully said, Yunjida pranave chetah pranavo brahma nirbhayam pranave nitya yuktasya navayam vidyate kvachit. As I said, everything begins, when you begin, there is a certain amount of insecurity, not sure. Certain amount of anxiety is also there when you are not sure. So therefore it says, Pranavo, Pranave Yunjita Satatam, Pranave Yunjita Chetah. Chetas, mind. May you engage your mind in that Pranava. Why it's called Pranava? Pra means Prakarshena. Na means Nava. Pranava means that which is even though ancient, but it always new. It is always new. How old are you? If somebody asks you, you will say, my body is 65 years old. I am young. Because if you refer to the body, obviously it is old. So is it not that Paramatma, the self, is always young here? It is always fresh and always young. What gets old is the physical body. So this Paramatma is like Pranava. Pranava is always fresh, brilliant, vibrant. So that is why it says, Yunjita Pranave Chetaha Pranavo Brahma Nirbhayam. That Pranava represents the Nirbhaya Atma, that fearless presence. The fear is caused by uncertainty, fear is caused by death or any other thing. But that Pranava Atma is always there. It is eternal and endless, deathless. So, Pranavo Brahma Nirbhayam Pranave Nitya Yuktasya. For the person who is ever meditating upon and engaged in Pranava, Nabhayam Vidyade Kvachit. There is no fear at all. So that is the reason why Pranava Dhyanam or Omkara Upasana is considered as the highest among in the Vedic Vedanta literature, Upanishads. So it begins with the Om as auspicious beginning. Secondly, this Valmiki Ramayan, as I said, it is 24,000 verses, right? Every 1,000 verse will begin with one letter from Gayatri Mantra. Bhagavan, the Valmiki Maharishi had great adoration and respect for sage Vishwamitra. And Vishwamitra, the seer of the Gayatri Mantra. Gayantam Trayate iti Gayatri. Trayate protects, Gayantam one who sings. Gayantam Trayate, one who, the deity Gayatri is that protects the person who sings. That's why it's called Gayatri. The Devata is Savita Devata, sun. That's why it says, Tat Saviduhu Varenyam Vargo Devasya Demahi Diyo Yonah Prachodayat. You will not see the deity there, but it is Saviduhu, that is the deity. Savitru means the sun. So, the 24 letters of Gayatri Mantra, first letter is what? Ta. That is what he started with. That is why he says, Tapasvatyaya Niratam Takara. Starts with Ta. And you will find many of the famous verses, famous compositions are also begins with Ta. Because it is said, Takaro Vignaharaha. This Ta, the Ta Varga, all of them are considered by the tradition as that which can remove all obstacles. Just like Ganesha as a deity, here the letter Tha is one which removes all obstacles on our way. Even Gita begins with Takara only. Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, that is also from Tavarga. Bhagavan Shankaracharya writes in Atma Bodha, the first word, Tapo Vikshina Papanam Shantanam Vitaraginam. Another place in Dhanyashram he says, Tatjnanam Prashamagaram Yadindriyanam Tatnyeyam Yadupanishad Sunischitartam. You will find therefore Takara is used by masters to indicate that this usage of the Ta will be of removal of the obstacles. So first verse is Takara. 1000th word is Sa. 2000th verse is Va. Again, 3000th verse is Ta. Then 4000 is Va. Tat Saviturvarenyam Vargo Devasya. So the whole, when you go to 24,000, will be the last one. This way, the composition took place, and then therefore we say Valmiki is of great admiration for the Gayatri Mantra. So it means when you just chant Gayatri Mantra, you have chanted the entire Ramayana. Oh, that is easy, Swamiji. If you know the story, yes, the whole story if you read, and then you chant Ramayana, Gayatri Mantra, you will be okay. tapasvadhyaya niratam tapasvi vagvitambaram naradam paripracha Valmiki Munipungapam. Now, here, there are two people are mentioned here in this first verse, Narada and Valmiki. In the Hindu tradition, every teaching begins with a conversation. Teaching means there is a teacher and there is a student, a disciple. A disciple is one, he follows a discipline. That's why he called disciple. Many people say, I am a disciple of Swamiji. No discipline they follow. So they call themselves devotee also. Not a devotee also. We can say deviated. Not a devotee. You are a deviated. Shishya. System anucharadi is Shishya. One who follows the system. System means conduct, rule, discipline. So here there is a teacher and there is a student. And usually the conversation begins with a student asking a question. You'll see, until Krishna was asked, he did not open the mouth. Arjuna asked the question. I do not know what is Dharma, please teach me. Dharma, I do not know. Therefore, I am here asking you, Muda has sammoham, I have no understanding of what is my immediate present duty, please, O Lord. That is the reason why Bhagavan started. Okay, I'll tell you. That you have got confused about what needs to be done, now I'll tell you. Because until that point, he was very sure about his, he wanted to fight the war, and there is. But at that moment when he got completely overwhelmed by what he was saying, Karpanya dosho apahata svabhavaha pruchami tvam dharma sammoda cheta yashreyasya nischitam brohitanme shishya te aham. I am your disciple. Shadimam, please marry me. Sorry, Shadimam is you instruct me. Mujhe shadi karo, nahi aisa nahi. Shadimam, Shasaswa, Shasanam Guru, may you instruct me. Shadimam, Tvam Prapannam Mam Shadi. I am surrendering to you. So here, who is the teacher? Narada. Tapasvadhyaya niratam. One, who is the Narada here? The teacher who has three important qualities. Tapasvadhyaya niratam. One who is ever niratam, engaged, dwelling in tapas and swadhyaya. Tapasvadhyaya niratam. Vakvidambaram. Best among one who utters or communicates. Vakvidambaram. Munipungavam. Best Munishreshtam. Best among the Munis. So Narada, who is ever engaged in tapas and swadhyaya, best among the teachers, one who is the best among the contemplative masters, him, Valmiki tapasvi paripapracha. Valmiki, the student, is also a shishya. I mean, he is also a tapasvi. Tapasvi Valmiki paripapracha. Paripapracha means one, prach means to ask. Prashnam karoti. Pruchati. Paripapracha means he asked, past tense. I'll come to that a little later. So, Narada, the teacher, first of all, here we are looking at the commentary by ancient commentator, that is Govindaraja, and his commentary is known as Govindarajiyam. The question is not to question the nature or question the quality of the teacher here. It is not to find whether the teacher knows at all or not, but it is the curiosity of the student. Otherwise, many people ask, I ask a question, teacher, let us see whether the teacher can answer at all. Which came first, chicken or the egg? I've asked many people, nobody answered. I'm the best of the, nobody can answer. There is no teacher who can answer this. What? Such kind of people, foolish people are also there, you find. Which came first? Egg or chicken? Huh? Somebody said that whichever you order first, that will come first. Or chicken came first. Why? Because chicken is in the front, egg is in the back. Is this unending this question you can never answer, and based upon that you don't evaluate the teacher. So the question is here not to evaluate the teacher at all, but the student wants to know, and therefore he has approached him. And that pariprashnam, tadvitti pranipadena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshinaha. Krishna says in 4th chapter, approach a teacher with humility, the attitude of service, with a curiosity to know. And the teacher who is well qualified, he will answer, he should answer it. And if this teacher is very abiding in the knowledge and teaching you, you cannot but understand this. That's why it is said, in Upanishad it is said, Ananya prokte gadiratra nasti, in Kathopanishad. When a teacher is fully abiding in that knowledge, when he speaks, ananya prokte, meaning he doesn't see himself different from the Paramatma when he prokte, when he says, gadiratra nasti, meaning you cannot but understand this. Shankaracharya writes a big commentary on that, and he says one more interpretation, ananya prokte, when such a person teaches, samsara gadi nasti tasya. And use no more samsara gadi for you. So a fit teacher, when he teaches that, it is based upon the quality of the student, the maturity of the student. So usually when you have a pravachan, everybody is listening. But when it is a guru, you live with him. And stay in the acharya, in the same place, and then the teacher exclusively teaches to the student based upon the maturity, the quality of the student, and initiates him to the right knowledge. So here the one-to-one conversation. One student and one teacher, Narada being the teacher, and the student is Valmiki. Why Valmiki? The very word I say, Valmikasya apatyam Valmiki. He who came out of Valmika, the anthill. And when the Sapta Rishis, when they have given him that mantra, Mara, 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 he was chanting for thousands of years. Don't pierce our ears more, we have already done that. Now you see, how old are you when I ask you? You say, I'm old, 60, 65, 70, or whatever. That's your body. How old are you? Not very young. Your age can never be calculated. You only calculate based upon your physical body only. How old is the jiva which is there in your body? How old is that? So when we say Valmiki sat for thousands of years, each one of us are more than thousands of years old. He didn't take body, because his karma was for the moment suspended, held back, because the Sapta Rishis have given the grace and blessings to him. All these karmas are suspended. Continue your purification. So thus he was engaged in that meditation, and then the anthill formed around him. And when the Saptarishis came after many thousands of years, when they came back, they hear the song. Mara, Mara, Mara. Oh! Immediately they took the right hand. Oh, yeah. Correct. Some thousands of years back, when we were going through this place, yes, we initiated this person into that. And because of their grace, Varuna, the rain came in downpour. And with that heavy rain, that ant hill completely got dissolved. Because it came from Prachetas. Prachetas means Varuna. And Varuna gave him life, and therefore it's called Prachetas. That's why it's called. Because of the blessings of Varuna, rain, he came to life, and the whole thing get dissolved. He's also called Bhargava. He's probably a descendant of Bhrigu Maharishi. So that is why it is said in another place, he is referred as Rishobhut Bhargavat Tasmat Valmiki Yobidhiyate in Vishnu Purana. So such a great Valmiki Prabhavo Yasmat Tasmat Valmiki Rityasau. And Valmiki is Mr. Anthill. So such a great Tapasvi, that's why it's called Tapasvi Valmiki Paripratpracha. He asked this question. Narada, why he is a fit teacher? Nara means, all of us know what is Nara. Nara means human. But Naraha means Narati di Naraha. Narati means one who is always engaged towards perfection. All of us are going towards our own self-perfection only. In our own phase we are moving. That is why it is said, Nara means Narati di Nara Proktaha Paramatma Sanatanaha. Saeva Narahatam Tadadi Vadishadi di Naradaha. So that path towards perfection is called Nara. Nara Ayanam Narayana. Nara is Paramatma. The Gadi, Paramatma Gadi, supreme goal is Nara. Naram tam dadati idi Narada. Naram Jnanam, Atma Jnanam. So when you add the as a suffix to any word, it becomes Dadadi. Varam Dadadi idi Varadaha. The word Varada means Varam Dadadi. Moksham Dadadi idi Mokshada. Or Muktim Dadadi idi Mukunda. So Naram Jnanam Atma Jnanam the Dadadi idi Narada. So Narada is constantly engaged in giving that knowledge to everybody there. Gayan Narayana Katam Sada Papa Vayapaham Narado Nashayan Nedi Nranam Ajnanajam Tamaha. Nranam Ajnanajam Tamaha Nashayan Narada. He who destroys the ignorance in the form of darkness which is clouding in our head, continuously singing the name of the Lord, he is moving around. And therefore, he is the best teacher of Ayana. And he continuously engages in that Narayana Katha. 3 words. Bhu, Bhuvaha, Swaha, and also all other words also. Any Purana you take, you will find Narada there. Any Loka you take, you will be there. No passport, no immigration, no visas. If anybody asks, where is your visa? Narayana, Narayana. So go, okay, go. You don't try that when you Canada or anywhere you go. Where is your visa? Narayana, get out. Only he is allowed like that. So, here Narada, the most fit teacher, and what is his nature? Tapaswadhyaya Naratam. Tapas means, literal meaning tapas means to burn. But here, tapas in the form of not self-torturing, but self-perfecting. So here it is said, tapas is in the form of na anashnan param tapaha swadhyaya rupam cha tapaha. Swadhyayana rupam, continuously engaging in swadhyayanam. 2 meaning for swadhyaya. One is self-study, another is studying the self. Swa, one's own self. Adhyayanam, studying one's own self. Not shelf study. What we have is a shelf study, because a lot of books are there in the shelf. The shelf is studying, not us. Swa-adhyana. Swadhyaya pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam. Don't stay away from continuous engagement in learning. So here, tapaha swadhyaya niratam, nitaram rati niratam. Ever engage joyfully in tapas. Tapas is where he continuously engaging in removing all the negativities, impurities. That is called tapas. That's why he says, tapaha na anashnan param. If one is engaging in that tapas, there naturally such an individual knows how not to indulge. That is called anashnan. Ashnam is to eat, indulge, na anashnan. Without that absence of indulgence, tapas has no real power. That's why when we are doing any of these rituals or any of the celebration or connected to any of these deities, one thing which all of us know is that they fast. Right? Because it's a very auspicious day, therefore I have to fast. Why fast is there? What is it got to do with the fasting, got to do with this worship of the deity? Meaning, that day let me not indulge. Idea is that let my mind be focused on the Lord, not on the self-indulgence. That is why it says, what is swadhyaya rupam tapaha? Samanaska indriyanam aikagre rupam chatapaha. Samanaska, along with the mind, indriyanam, all the senses, aikagryam, one-pointedness is called tapas. Samanaska indriyanam aikagryam, ekagrata, one-pointedness, that is tapas. So, both of them are tapas. He says, tapaswadhyaya niradam naradam, tapasvi Valmiki Muni. Valmiki Pariprapracha. He asked this question. Now, second important quality of Narada is Vagvidam Vara. He is the best among the speakers or one who can convey this knowledge. He himself being the son of Brahma, he gained the knowledge of Brahman from his own father. But what happened was, you see, when you read something, you may probably read, but you may not pay attention. It is said that Narada had studied so many Vedas, Dhanurveda, Ayurveda, that, this, 64 kalas he learnt. Till he was not happy. In Chandrika Upanishad we find that he goes to Sanat Kumaras, his own brothers, his own elder brother, all the four of them, Sanaka, Sanadana, Sanandana, Sanat. He goes to them and says, I have studied all the various Vedas, but yet I am not happy. Shokasya param tarayatu. Please take me across the ocean of sorrow. Then the Sanat Kumaras teach him Brahma Vidya, Atma Vidya. In Chandrika Upanishad, this particular portion comes. So he has learned Atma Vidya also from Sanaka, Sanadana, Sanandana, Sanat Kumaras. Therefore, he is the best teacher there. That's Vakvidam Varam. It is, one may have knowledge, but he may not be able to convey that. But here, Narada was not like that. The third qualification, Munipungavaha, Mananashilavan Munihi, Mananajanya Paripakvatvam Munishreshtatvam. Why is called the best of the Munis? Because he has got the perfection in the contemplation. In contemplation, in understanding the knowledge and applying it, he has become the best. So therefore, he is Munipungavaha. And the student here is Valmiki. And why there is a need for the teacher? Acharyat eva vidita vidya sadishtam prapat. Upanishad says, only when you are listening from the teacher, the knowledge becomes accomplished. Why it is so is, when you read from a book, you do not know whether it is true or false. Anybody can, nowadays Google, anybody can write anything on any subject, anyway. How do you know it is authentic? Who shows you that it is authentic? Even when you read scriptures, how do you know it is right? It is only the teachers who live by that, they say that it is my experience, our own experience, therefore it is true. The authenticity of the words of scripture is from the rishis. They say it is, we put that, what do you call that? What is that called? Table, what is it called? Benchmark. What is the benchmark? Benchmark, right? The authenticity. Seal of authority. So, the teachers who have lived by that knowledge, they put the stamp of authority. This is true. So, that is why it is Muni Pungava. So, here, Acharyat eva vidita vidya sadishtam prabha. Acharyavan purusho veda. A man who has the teacher knows. Now, even you, look at you, our own knowledge that we have, we're learning very many things. Is it not that you must be thankful to the teacher who really taught you? Not the books. How many of you just read the book and became excellent and efficient in any field? Very, very rare. Anybody who has become excellent in any particular field must give credit to a teacher. So therefore, Acharyavan Purusho Veda, the student approaches the properly and he asks. Now, what is the question that he asked? Konvasmin sampratam loke gunavan kascha viryavan dharmajnasya kritagnyascha Satyavacho dridam vrataha, Satyavakyo dridam vrataha Konvasmin sampratam loke gunavan kascha viryavan dharmajnasya kritagnyascha satyavakyo dridam vrataha. Now the question which Valmiki asks Narada is not about any particular person. Asmin, this Sampradam, now, at this moment, in the this is Vartamana Kale, Loke, in this world, Kaha, who is that? Who is Gunavan, man of qualities. Viryavan, man of valor. Dharmajnaha, one who knows what is dharma. Kritagnaha, one who has gratitude. Satyavakyaha, one who stands by what he says. Dridavavrataha, one who is steadfast in his principles. 6 things he asks. Gunavan, Viryavan, Dharmajnaha, Kritagnaha, Satyavakyaha, and Dridavavrataha. Man of virtues, Gunavan, man of valor, strength. Second, one who knows all the righteousness, Dharmajnaha. One who is grateful to what he has received, that is Kritagnaha. One who stands by his own promises, Satyavakya, and last but not least, is Dridavavrataha, steadfast in his own principle. Now more are there. Only first one he starts with 6. Now, one may be of one quality, but not the all other. He is not suggesting to Narada about Rama at all here. He won't use the word Rama here. It can be Lakshmana, it can be Bharata, it can be Shatrugna, it can be anybody. But by putting all these qualities, he is zeroing in. He is very clearly zeroing into only one personality there. Because one who has all these qualities is indeed very rare. And what he is saying, I don't want to know about some god which is unknown, some devata. Asmin loke sampratam loke. At this moment, vartamana kale, this moment, now, in the present condition. That means, I want to know which human being has got this. Konvasmin sampratam loke. Who is that in this particular existing present condition, this world? Who is having gunavan? Gunavan means gunam yasyasidi gunavan. One who has guna. Guna means quality is especially good virtues. Gunavan. Guni, when you say a person who has particular guna. Gunin actually. Like Shulin is one who has Shula. Malin who has a Mala. Jatin, one who has Jata. Gunin means one who has guna. In the world what we see is, when a person has got certain virtues, we praise that person. But here the beauty is, Loke guna sambandhat guni adishayah. Ihad guni sambandhat guna adishayah. It is such a beautiful thing. Usually people who possess the qualities, the person is glorified. Loke in this world, guna sambandhat, due to the association with virtues, guni adishayah. A man of such quality is praised. Ihatu, in this context indeed, guni sambandhat guna adishayah. Because it is the virtue of God, virtues have become great. Virtues gain that glory because they are part of Lord. For example, before Gandhiji, nobody knew what is non-violence. Before Buddha, nobody knew what is compassion. Yes or no? Before him also, that was there. But what he made sure was not made him great, made that virtue great. Made that value great. Is it not true? Now people, in the moment of non-violence, when you say, you remember him. Why? Even before the Mahavira also, he taught in Jain Sampradaya, he taught about that. But who made glory of that virtue? The virtue became glory because it is associated with the great person. Similarly, qualities become great because of the association with God. Association with Ram. Like when you are buying some perfume. That perfume, when it is used to buy some Sachin Tendulkar. The perfume, even otherwise it was available in the shop. When they show it is used to buy some personality, then you go and buy it. Before that was also used side. Now he is using it, therefore it is great. Is it not true? It is because Marlin brand, some useless fellow, this is smoking. Oh, you go and buy it. That the smoke is the same, but because he is using it, therefore it is great. So the greatness of a virtue, in this context, the greatness of the virtue is because it is associated with the great person. So gunavan means one who has made the virtues great because they are connected to him. And Bhagavan Sri Rama, what is that greatest quality that he exhibited into this world is because he stuck to the Varna and Ashrama Dharma. Kshatriya Varna and Grihasthashram. Kshatriya Varna means one who belongs to that Kshatriya, that particular clan, and the first and foremost quality of a Kshatriya is, as his Pratigna also says, Go Brahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam. We chant during the Arati also. Sarve Bhavantu Sakinaha. What is that we chant? Kale Varshad Parjanyaha Prithvi Sasya Shalini Desho Yamsho Parihitaha Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha. What Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha means what? May the Brahmanas, men of knowledge, remain fearless. Meaning, let them continue, pursue the path of knowledge without any fear. And that is possible only when the Kshatriya, the king, is ready to protect him. That is the Kshatriya Dharma. What is that? Protection of the good people. Protection of men of knowledge. Unfortunately, a country should first of all give maximum importance to education. That's the foremost duty of any governance. Because only educated people, when they are there, a country can be cultured, civilized, will have the sense of, integrity. If that is not there, then only guns will speak. So, what is the duty of this, the Kshatriya? Protecting the Brahmanas. Brahmana here does not mean threaded variety, I am not talking about that. Men of knowledge, people who have wisdom. Because people who are pursuing knowledge, they are not bhilwans. They are not people who will stand with the gun all the time. They cannot protect themselves because that is not their work. There is to continue to engage in knowledge and give the understanding and knowledge and what they have understood to the world. That is their work. And somebody, therefore, have to protect. Therefore, here coming back to the point, Kshatriya Dharma he protected. Always. Even when he was in the forest, he was in the bow and arrow. Why? I want to protect the Brahmanas. Ashrama Dharma. He was a householder and he remained as a householder all through Ekapatni Vrata. So, he protected the Varnashrama Dharma. That is why his qualities are excellent. So, that made him also the Gunavan. Viryavan. This Viryatvam does not come because he has a physical strength. The best strength is forgiveness. He says, Ripunamabi Vatsalaha. Even for an enemy, he is a benevolent. Even the enemy, he likes him. Liked him. Why? Because one who is capable of forgiving his own enemy is the one of greatest strength. So, here Valmiki is asking, Konvaspin sampratam loke gunavan kascha viryavan dharmajnascha kritajnascha. Dharmajna means dharmam janadi iti dharmajna. Jna, when you use as a suffix, suffix means that which follows, a word. So when you follow dharma with jna, janati. Software jna means softwaream janadi is software jna. So when you add jna, alpajna means what? Alpam janadi iti alpajna. Brahmam janadi brahmajna. Na janadi iti ajna. One who does not know anything. Ajna. So you add jna, it becomes janadi. So here, dharmajna means dharmam janadi. Now the problem with dharma is, in the sense, how it is so difficult for us to understand dharma is, it is always contextual. What is right and what is wrong is not clear. It is not concrete. It is not black and white most of the time. Everything is grey. If you ask, are you a good person? Sort of. Why sort of? Because some people I'm good, most people I'm bad. What is good in any situation, who knows? How do you know? How do you know what is good? What is right to do? So even if you take the Shastra and look at it, what happens is most of the time, at that time it appears to be right, but not today. You say, oh, Manu Smriti and all, Swami, those things are not applicable today. Is it not true? Culture to culture, good and bad changes. Right and wrong changes. So how do we know what is actually a dharma? How do we know? In Taittiriya Upanishad we will find, the question was raised, if you are not sure about what is your dharma, karma vichikitsa, if you have a karma vichikitsa, what is, vichikitsa means doubt. Ye tatra brahmana samvarshinaha yukta ayukta aluksha dharma kamasyuhu yata te tatra varteran tata tatra vartetaha esha upadeshaha. When you are not sure about what is dharma, what is particular karma to be done at any time, follow the people of great virtues in your time. Etatra brahmana sammarshinaha. Those available wise people, how they do it. Yata te tatra vartetaha. The way they act, tata tatra varte, the same way you go. Who are they? It says, sammarshina yukta ayuktaha aluksha dharma kamasyuhu. Those who are desirous of doing the right thing and they uncompromisingly follow, they are the people to look at. So, when we are not sure about what is the dharma of a person, Rama is the demonstration of it. Dharmo vigrahavan Rama. Embodiment of dharma is Sri Rama. So he demonstrates what is a putra dharma, what is a bhratru dharma, what is the duty of a son, what is the duty of a brother, what is the duty of a husband, what is the duty of a king, what is the duty of a friend, what is the duty of a kshatru, enemy. How should he treat an enemy? All these dharmas he demonstrates that. And for him to demonstrate, you should know it. Dharmajnaha. So it is said here, Vikara heto sati na vikriyante yesham na chetamsi te eva dhiraha. Why he is able to follow the dharma uncompromisingly is because Vikara heto sati, even when there are various other disturbances and distractions that are possibly come to his mind, vikriyante yesham na chetamsi. Na chetamsi vikriyante. His mind is not oscillating. Deva dhira. Such people are called dhira, great people. Even as the entire country was against the decision of Dasharatha, did he stop? No. I don't. He said, it is a word given by my father to my mother. I shall uphold, even if the entire country is against me. If he had taken that rulership, nobody would have objected that. Except Kaikeyi maybe. Put her in the jail. Doesn't matter. Only one person after all. What can you? Anybody else? No. Who is the majority? Only she is shouting. Shut her up and put her in jail. But that's not what he did. So even though you could have been distracted by his decision, for his decision, no, he said, no, I will not do it. So we see that dharmajnaha, man of virtue, man who knows the Shrota smarta sakala dharma rahasyajnaha. He knows all the various secrets of these Vedas. Dharma alaukika shreya sadhanam tam samanya rupam visheshurupam cha janadi iti dharmajnaha. He knows alaukik. Alaukika. Laukika means that which is belonging to this world. Alaukika means of the Swargaloka and Swargadi Lokas. Shreya Sadhanam, what will be the means by which one can reach the highest world? Samanyu Rupam, Visheshu Rupam cha Janati. He knows in general and in specific. So all that knowledge of the Vedas, that what is the content of the Vedas is not only Laukika sadhanas, but Alaukika sadhana also they prescribe. Not only of the pleasures of the world or the karmas to be done in this world, but what will give you punya, that also is taught there. What is punya? It's not of the local, for the benefit of living in this world, but what is that virtues, what are those virtues which can, merits that can take you to the higher worlds. That knowledge also and the means to it also, he is aware of it. So therefore he is the Dharmajna. So, Valmiki, by asking this question, who is the person at this present moment in this world? Konvasmin sampratam loke gunavan kascha viryavan dharmajnasya kritajnasya satyavakyo dridhavrata. Kritajna, the next important virtue he is asking about, we'll see that tomorrow. That's another beautiful statement there, Kritajna. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkhabhat bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha.